Hello, everyone. It's Sri Valentine with another tappy break for you today. Thanks so much for joining me. And I just have to say a big shout out and a big thank you to all the activity on the event page. Dave Moore and Sean Mon, you guys are like rocking it with the comments and totally appreciate it. And there's so many of you out there watching me live, and I really, really am thrilled. So thanks so much for joining me. I haven't mastered the comment tracker yet, so I can't bring those wonderful comments up on the show, but I promise you I am learning and I am in the works, and that will be coming soon. But I am going to post those on the blog page on my website at SheriValentine.com with today's Tappy Break video because they're really great. So I really appreciate the support and the engagement and the community that we're building. I love that you guys tune in every week, and thank you so much for being here. And today we're going to talk on feeling like a fraud. So there was a comment where somebody thought that perhaps I was projecting, and I don't think I was projecting. I just hear this often from so many of my clients and just conversations that we have in the green room that we do sometimes really feel that way. And in all honesty, yes, I have those moments too. I just had a conversation with a friend over the weekend about it. But I was able to sit and say, okay, I feel like a fraud because, and I'm really not a fraud because. So I was able to do both sides of it. So I invite all of you after the tappy break to be aware of the thoughts that you're having around some of these things where you may think, oh, this is too easy for me. You know, I can't possibly be charging for this. I can't really be an expert or real because it's so easy. But those are your gifts. The things that are easy are the things that we want to be sharing and doing and charging for. When I struggled with that on my end, somebody said something to me, and I'll tell you, it really put it in perspective. So I'm going to share that with you, and then we're going to jump into the tapping. But they said to me, would you rather pay a bookkeeper or an accountant who has no idea what they're doing, and it's really a struggle, and they really have to put a lot of energy and effort into knowing what they're doing, or would you rather pay somebody who loves it, it's easy to them, they get it, they're passionate, and you're in good hands? And boy, when I looked at it that way, I realized, oh yeah, I think I would rather pay somebody and work with somebody that it's easy for them and they love it and it's passionate about it. So that helped me to own my gifts and to show up in a different way. So I hope that helps all of you. So as always, before we start tapping, I just would like to invite you to ground, to get present, and to be here in this moment. We only have about 15 minutes together. This is a time you set aside for yourself, whether you're listening and you're joining me live or you're watching the replay city. This is your time, so take it, okay? This is a time for you to allow your unconscious to speak up to you and show you the wisdom that's there that may be keeping you from totally shining your brilliance, from stepping into and moving forward in a way that you totally imagine yourself being and wanting, but maybe it's not quite happening. So we tap to let that go, let go of the blocks, let go of what's maybe stuck in our energy system or stuck in our thought process, remove the charge so that there's room and space now for expansion and new thoughts and creativity. And that's why we get together and tap every week, so that you can have that for yourself. So breathe. Breathing is such a gift, such a gift. And just breathing consciously can reset you in any moment and just get you calm and present and here. So we're just going to tap a little just to actually further allow that grounding and presence and stillness to come in. Okay, so we'll tap real quickly. Even though I may not completely be here yet, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I want to be grounded and really want to be present and give all my attention in this moment, that's not easy for me to do. And I choose to let that be okay, honor who I am without judgment. And I choose to be present. I choose to show up fully. I choose to give this gift of time to myself because I deserve that. And so do all the people whom I serve. I'm letting go of distractions. I'm releasing overwhelm. I'm releasing what happened before I showed up here. I'm releasing what's waiting for me on the other end. I'm releasing stress. I'm releasing worry. I'm releasing doubt. And I'm choosing just to be here and to be present. Take a breath and let it go. Thank you. Okay. So in the invite, in the description, I had encouraged you to maybe make a list for yourself where you may be already consciously aware of where you feel like a fraud. And that might show up for you because things are so easy for you that you think maybe I can't be this good or it can't be this easy, you know. So we want to let that go if that's your truth or your story, okay? However, there's also the flip side of that where maybe you haven't quite gotten where you want to be. You're not maybe making the money you want to make, or you haven't hit the goals that you've set for yourself in the business sense or in a client sense. Or maybe you feel you haven't had enough education, you haven't had enough certifications, you haven't learned enough, okay? And so that can keep you from really getting out there and being who you are and sharing what you have and feeling like a fraud. So find your truth and where you fall within that realm. And for today's exercise, let's just pick one, even if you might have two or three, hopefully not more than that. But, you know, if you have more than that, that's okay. We're going to just deal with them one at a time, release and collapse them one at a time. That's how this works. Okay, so just choose one for today's tappy break, okay, for you. Understanding that although I may say words that aren't completely your words or resonating where you're at in this place of process, it's okay. You've set the intention for yourself, where you're working, where you're releasing. And because that intention has been set, and because you have showed up and you are going to tap and speak with me and be in the energy of how you feel about this, you're going to receive the benefit that you need. I always ask you to come with the intention that you trust that your inner wisdom and guidance knows what needs to be released and will reveal itself to you. And that's how this works. So let's start tapping on feeling like a fraud because we don't want you feeling that way anymore. Okay. Even though I feel like a fraud, I honor those feelings. They're real. And they're valid to me in this moment. So even though I feel like a fraud, it's too easy. What I do is just so easy. I can't possibly be the expert in charge for this. I honor the part of me that believes it has to be hard, and I choose to allow another part of me to surface. So even though I feel like a fraud, I don't know enough. There's more I have to learn. There's always more to learn. I need another credential. I honor that part of me that thinks I'm not enough and choose to embrace the part of me that is. And I choose to love and accept myself in all my forms, in all my layers, and all my levels. But I do feel like a fraud. I feel like a fraud. There is a part of me that thinks I'm not good enough. There is a part of me that doesn't know enough. There is a part of me that believes I'll never be good enough. And that part of me feels like a fraud because I'm out there in social media spouting all these things about myself, talking about all these things in the world. And though part of me knows it's true, there's a part of me that doesn't feel I measure up. I learned at some level I wasn't good enough. I believed it. And even though a bigger part of me knows that's not true, that little voice inside of me still shows up. That little part of me that does believe it is still there. And I send that part of me love. I send that part of me appreciation. I send that part of me recognition. There's a reason that you're there. There's a reason your voice still shows up. And I'm willing to listen to it and to validate it for you. Because you deserve that. There's a reason you believe it. I don't believe it. The better part of me doesn't believe for 1 minute that you're not good enough, that you can't do this, or that you're a fraud. I choose to honor the part of me that believes something's missing and give it the love and attention that will heal it. Because the truth is, I am good enough. There is no such thing as perfection. And the part of me that believes I have to be perfect and everything that I do has to be perfect is hurting and is stuck in a false belief. And I choose to set that part of me free. I choose to see myself as perfect as I am. Yes, I'm always open to growing and to learning and to expanding and to recognizing my soul's purpose and to love and accept myself where I am right now and who I am. I choose to share myself and my gifts and my services and my products from a place of acceptance and recognition, knowing that they will serve and help those who need it. And I choose to let the things that are easy for me to be easy and to be valid and to be okay I choose not to feel like a fraud because something comes easy to me and I love it and I enjoy it. That is an old story. That is an old belief. I am not sure where I learned that everything has to be hard and has to be a struggle and is never good enough. I choose to release that story. I choose to send love and healing to that part of me that learned and believed that story. And I choose to set myself free from that place, from that story, from that belief. I choose to embrace myself and who I am with love and acceptance. I am not a fraud. I am amazing. I am authentic. I am present. I am growing. I am expanding. And I am me in all my glory. And that's who I choose to be. And that's how I choose to show up. Take a big deep breath. Hopefully you're feeling some relief, some release, some shifts, and some awarenesses. What I recommend is that if you are feeling any sense of heaviness or dread or an experience or a memory showed up for you, to take the time to tap again. The more specific and targeted that you can be, especially if you can identify where this belief began for you and tap it at that level, that's where you're going to experience the most freedom. And as always, if you would like some support in that, because sometimes it's really difficult to hold that space for yourself and be able to go as deep as you need to go, I'm here. I'm here for you. I would welcome a conversation with you to see where you are at, where your goals are, where do you feel stuck, and how I might be a great support for you. Tapping is always amazing when you can do it yourself, and even more so when you have the support of somebody who is trained and can help really guide you and lead you to that place of freedom for yourself. And it is my pleasure to be able to offer that to you, as well as the energy healings and other modalities and ways that we can always get to that place of freedom for ourselves. So please join me every week at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for a new episode of Tappy Break. And please let me know how it has helped you. It makes such a difference for me to know that you are actually benefiting from these tapping sessions, and know that there is a whole library with a different topic available at YouTube/Cherie Valentine under Tappy Break. So have a great week. Keep tapping and shine that brilliant soul of yours. Thank you.